Welcome back to the channel Numisma Hub, to the fascinating world of rare coin collecting, where even an ordinary-looking 1983p Washington quarter could hold a hidden story and surprising value. What may seem like a worn and dirty coin in your pocket might actually be a piece of history with the potential to catch a collector's eye. While not every coin will make you rich overnight, the thrill lies in the possibility that something small could turn into something extraordinary. So take a closer look, because your next discovery might be more valuable than you ever imagined. Top 5 First up, the story of the 1983p Washington quarter begins with an era when the United States Mint faced unusual challenges, making coins from this year quietly special. At first glance, it may look like just another worn, everyday quarter, especially if it's dirty, scratched, or faded, but hidden beneath that ordinary appearance could be a coin that collectors pay serious attention to. The P Mint mark, representing Philadelphia, was only added to quarters starting in 1980, so by 1983 it was still a relatively new feature, adding a subtle layer of historical importance to the coin. What makes the 1983p quarter fascinating is not that every coin is valuable, but that certain examples can be surprisingly scarce in high grades. During 1982 and 1983, the US Mint did not release official uncirculated sets, meaning collectors had to pull coins directly from circulation. As a result, most 1983p quarters you find today are heavily worn, dull, and often dirty, exactly like the type you described. This is why even a coin in average condition can feel special. It survived a time when preservation was not a priority. However, let's be clear and grounded. A typical 1983p quarter in dirty or heavily circulated condition is usually worth only its face value, 25 cents or slightly more to a collector, perhaps a few dollars at most. The dream of it being worth millions overnight is extremely unlikely for a standard coin. But here, where things become exciting, rare exceptions do exist, and those are what fuel the stories and collector passion behind this coin. If your 1983p quarter has an unusual minting error, that's when its value can rise dramatically. Errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or dramatic misalignments can transform an ordinary coin into a collector's prize. Even then, values typically range from tens to hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error, but not millions. Still, finding such a coin in your pocket change can feel like striking gold. Condition is the real game changer. A 1983p quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS65 or higher, can sell for significantly higher prices because so few were preserved that well. Coins graded MS67 or above are especially rare and have been known to fetch hundreds or even over $1,000 at auction. That's a huge jump from face value, proving that condition can completely transform the worth of this coin. Now imagine holding a dirty, worn 1983p quarter. It may not shine, its details may be faded, and it may look like it has no value at all. But even then, it carries history in your hand, a piece of American currency that circulated during a time when coin collecting faced a gap in official mint releases. That alone gives it a quiet but real significance, even if the market value remains modest. The idea that such a coin could make you a billionaire overnight is more of a dream than a reality, but dreams are what keep collectors searching. Every rare coin discovery story begins with someone taking a second look at what others ignored. So while most 1983p quarters won't change your life financially, checking them carefully is always worth your time. If you truly believe your coin is special, the best step is to examine it closely under good lighting. Look at the mint mark, the lettering, and the edges. Any unusual doubling, missing details, or strange shapes could indicate an error. Even a small difference can mean a big jump in collector interest. Another important factor is authentication. Professional grading services can evaluate your coin and assign it a grade that determines its market value. Without this step, even a potentially valuable coin may not reach its full selling price because buyers rely on verified quality and authenticity. It's also worth understanding that the coin market runs on demand. A coin becomes valuable not just because it is rare, but because collectors actively seek it. The 1983p quarter has a niche demand due to its historical context and scarcity in high grades, which is why top condition examples can command impressive prices. So while your dirty 1983p Washington quarter may not instantly turn you into a millionaire, it still holds a spark of possibility. It could be a simple piece of change, or it could be something more, depending on its condition and characteristics. That uncertainty is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. In the end, the true value of this coin lies in both its story and its potential. Whether it's worth a few cents or a few $100s, it represents a moment in time and a chance, however small, to discover something extraordinary. So don't rush to spend it. Take a closer look, because sometimes the most overlooked coins carry the most interesting secrets. Next coin, the story of the 1986 D Washington quarter, begins with an ordinary coin that most people would never look at twice. Yet hidden within its worn edges and dull surface could be a quiet spark of extraordinary value. Struck in 1986 at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the small D mint mark, a detail so tiny that many overlook it, yet it is the very signature that connects the coin to a specific moment in American minting history. While millions of these quarters were produced, not all were created equal in the eyes of collectors. Some pieces, even in rough or dirty condition, can carry a surprising premium if they possess something unusual. At first glance, a dirty or heavily circulated 1986 D quarter might seem almost worthless, its surface scratched, faded, and lifeless. But in the world of coin collecting, appearances can be deceiving. Collectors often look beyond the grime to examine deeper details, strike quality, minting errors, and rare variations that can turn an ordinary coin into a hidden treasure. Even a coin that looks like pocket change can become something far more valuable when viewed through the lens of rarity and demand. The real excitement around the 1986 D Washington quarter lies not in the standard versions, but in the rare anomalies that occasionally surface. Coins with striking errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet flaws, can command significantly higher prices. These rare features are not always easy to detect, especially when the coin is dirty, but they are exactly what collectors search for. A single overlooked detail can transform a coin from being worth cents into something far more impressive. However, it is important to ground expectations in reality. The vast majority of 1986 D quarters, especially those in poor or dirty condition, are worth only their face value of 25 cents. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples sell for just a few dollars. The idea of such a coin being worth millions is extremely unlikely unless it has a truly unique and historically significant minting error or is part of an extraordinary collection with proven rarity. That said, there have been moments in the coin market where unusual pieces shocked collectors with unexpected prices. Coins that combine rarity, condition, and collector demand can reach thousands of dollars at auction. If a 1986 D quarter were discovered with a dramatic minting error in combination with a rare die variety, it could potentially reach into higher price ranges. Still, reaching millions would require an almost one-of-a-kind discovery, something that would be widely documented and studied. Condition plays a powerful role in determining value, even more than age in many cases. A heavily worn and dirty coin usually loses much of its collector appeal unless it carries a rare feature. Coins graded in high mint state condition, those that appear almost untouched, are far more desirable. Ironically, the cleaner and more pristine a coin is, the higher its potential value. While dirt and wear generally reduce it unless rarity overrides condition, the D Mint mark itself tells a story of origin. The Denver Mint has produced billions of coins over the years, and the 1986 D quarter is just one small piece of that massive output. Yet within such large production numbers, small variations can occur, and those variations are what create excitement in the collecting community. It is this unpredictability that keeps collectors searching through rolls of coins and old collections, hoping to find something rare. Many collectors dream of discovering a coin that could change their life overnight, and while such stories do exist, they are incredibly rare. The idea of a single quarter turning someone into a millionaire captures the imagination, but it is important to approach such claims with caution. True million-dollar coins are usually well-documented rarities with clear historical significance, not commonly circulated pieces from modern decades. If you happen to own a 1986 D quarter in very dirty condition, the best step is not to clean it aggressively. Cleaning can damage the coin's surface and reduce its value even further. Instead, it is better to have the coin examined by an experienced collector or a professional grading service. They can determine whether the coin has any unusual features that might increase its worth beyond face value. The market for coins is driven by collectors, and collectors value uniqueness. A coin that tells a story, whether through an error, a rare strike, or exceptional preservation, will always attract attention. Without those qualities, even coins from decades past remain ordinary. This is why careful inspection and knowledge are essential when evaluating any coin, especially one that appears worn or damaged. In the end, the 1986 D Washington quarter represents both reality and possibility. On one hand, it is a common coin that most people will encounter without a second thought. On the other, it holds the slim, but fascinating potential of rarity hidden beneath its surface. This dual nature is what makes coin collecting so captivating, the idea that treasure might be hiding in plain sight. So before you dismiss that old, dirty quarter in your pocket, take a closer look. While it may not make you a billionaire overnight, it could still hold a story worth discovering. And in rare cases, with the right combination of features, it might surprise you with a value far beyond what you ever expect. Next coin, the story of the 1990 D Washington quarter begins like many ordinary coins, quietly struck in Denver, released into circulation, and passed from hand to hand without a second thought. Yet hidden inside this seemingly common coin is a world of possibility, mystery, and collector fascination. To the untrained eye, especially when the coin is dirty or worn, it may look like nothing more than pocket change. But to a seasoned collector, even a heavily circulated piece can carry whispers of rarity, subtle errors, or overlooked details that dramatically change its value. It is important to understand that the vast majority of 1990 D quarters were produced in the millions, making them very common in general circulation. However, what transforms an ordinary coin into something extraordinary is not just the date or mint mark, it is the condition, the presence of minting errors, and the uniqueness of its features. A dirty or worn coin may seem less appealing, but sometimes dirt hides details that collectors are desperate to find, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or rare die cracks. When we talk about unimaginable value, reaching into thousands or even higher, we are not referring to every 1990 D quarter. Instead, we are talking about extremely rare variations, coins that slip through the minting process with unusual characteristics. These can include dramatic misprints, wrong planchet errors, or coins struck with misaligned dies. In such cases, even a coin in rough or dirty condition can attract serious attention because the error itself becomes the centerpiece of its value. Collectors often say that condition is king, but rarity can sometimes override condition completely. A heavily circulated 1990 D quarter with a confirmed mint error could still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the uniqueness of the flaw. The dirt and wear may reduce its shine, but they do not erase the story embedded in the metal. In fact, some collectors prefer untouched coins because cleaning can damage the surface and reduce authenticity. The idea that a single coin could make someone a millionaire overnight is powerful and exciting, but it must be approached with realism. There are no widely confirmed records of a standard 1990 D quarter selling for millions of dollars. However, in the world of coin collecting, extraordinary discoveries do happen. Coins once considered ordinary have later been reclassified as rare due to newly discovered errors or limited surviving specimens. What truly drives the value of a coin like the 1990 D quarter is demand among collectors. If a specific variation becomes highly sought after, especially one that is rare and difficult to find, its price can rise dramatically. Auctions play a major role in this process, where collectors compete to own unique pieces. A coin that might seem worthless in a drawer could suddenly become the center of intense bidding if it possesses the right characteristics. The Denver Mint Mark D itself is not rare for this year, but its placement and clarity can still matter. In some rare cases, mint marks may appear weak, doubled, or slightly misplaced due to die issues. These small differences are often invisible unless examined closely, sometimes requiring magnification. This is why even a dirty coin should not be dismissed without careful inspection. Another factor that can influence value is whether the coin has been authenticated and graded by a professional service. A raw coin, especially one in poor condition, might not immediately reveal its worth, but once verified and graded, it can gain credibility and attract serious buyers. This step often separates a coin with potential from one that remains overlooked. There is also an emotional aspect to coin collecting that adds to the excitement. The idea that something so small and ordinary could hold hidden value creates a sense of treasure hunting. Every coin becomes a possibility, every detail a clue. This is why stories of rare coins continue to capture attention. They combine history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. However, it is equally important to stay grounded. Not every 1990 D quarter is valuable, and most will only be worth their face value of 25 cents. The difference lies in the details, the rarity, and sometimes sheer luck. Believing every coin is worth millions can lead to disappointment, but understanding what to look for can turn a simple hobby into a rewarding pursuit. If you truly believe you have a special coin, the best approach is patience and proper evaluation. Avoid cleaning it, store it safely, and consider having it examined by experts. What looks like dirt could be preserving important surface details, and what seems ordinary could turn out to be something much more interesting under closer inspection. In the end, the 1990 D Washington quarter is a reminder that value is not always visible at first glance. While it may not realistically make you a billionaire overnight, it holds the potential to spark curiosity, learning, and perhaps even a surprising discovery. The real treasure is not just in the coin itself, but in the journey of understanding what makes it unique, and that journey can sometimes lead to rewards far greater than expected. Next coin, the 1993 P Washington quarter, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, is a coin that often gets surrounded by excitement, mystery, and sometimes exaggerated claims about hidden fortunes. At first glance, it may look like just another everyday quarter, especially if it appears worn, dirty, or heavily circulated. But collectors know that even ordinary-looking coins can carry stories, and sometimes surprising value, though not always in the way viral claims suggest. This coin belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington. By 1993, these quarters were still made using a copper-nickel clad composition, meaning they are not silver like earlier pre-1965 coins. Because of this, most 1993 quarters, even those with a P mint mark, were produced in very large numbers, making them quite common in circulation. Now, when people talk about a rare 1993 P quarter being worth millions, it's important to understand the reality. In standard condition, even if the coin is dirty or worn, its value is usually very close to face value, 25 cents. Dirt or heavy wear actually lowers the value rather than increasing it, because collectors prefer coins with clear details and minimal damage. However, the story changes when we talk about errors and exceptional condition. A 1993 P quarter can become valuable if it has a minting error. These errors might include double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or other unusual production mistakes. These are rare and can make a coin worth anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds, and in extreme cases, even thousands, depending on how dramatic and collectible the error is. Condition also plays a huge role. Coins are graded on a scale, and a 1993 P quarter in near-perfect, mint-state condition, especially graded MS67 or higher, can command a premium. Such coins are extremely hard to find because most quarters enter circulation and get worn down. A flawless example with sharp details and original luster is what collectors truly chase. The idea that a dirty coin could make you a billionaire overnight is more of a myth than reality. In fact, dirt hides the details that collectors want to see. Cleaning a coin, however, is also not recommended, as improper cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce its value even further. The best approach is to leave the coin as it is and have it professionally evaluated if you suspect something unusual. There is also the emotional and psychological side of coin collecting. Many people believe they might be holding a life-changing treasure, and that excitement keeps the hobby alive. While it's true that some coins have sold for astonishing amounts, those cases involve extremely rare historical pieces, major minting errors, or coins with unique provenance, not common circulation quarters from the 1990s. If you truly want to evaluate your 1993 P quarter, the smartest step is to look closely at its details. Check for unusual features, misprints, or anything that looks different from a normal quarter. A magnifying glass can help you notice things like doubling in the lettering or design, which might indicate a valuable variety. Professional grading services can also provide clarity. Sending your coin to a recognized grading company can confirm its authenticity, condition, and whether it has any special characteristics. This certification can significantly increase buyer confidence if you ever decide to sell. In today's market, most 1993 P quarters sell for modest amounts, unless they are in exceptional condition or have verified errors. Prices can range from a few cents over face value to perhaps $10.50 for high-grade examples, and more if something truly rare is discovered. But reaching millions is not realistic for this particular coin type. That said, never underestimate the value of knowledge. Many valuable coins have been discovered by ordinary people who took the time to learn what to look for. Your coin might not make you a billionaire overnight, but it could still be worth more than you think if it has the right features. In the end, the 1993 P Washington Quarter is a reminder that not all treasure is measured in millions. Sometimes the real value lies in the hunt, the history, and the excitement of discovery. If you believe your coin is special, take a closer look, because while the odds of a fortune are slim, the possibility of finding something unique is always there. Next, coins. The Washington Quarter from 1997, with a P mint mark, is often surrounded by excitement, mystery, and sometimes exaggerated claims about life-changing value. While it is true that certain rare coins can reach astonishing prices, the reality behind the 1997 P quarter is more nuanced, and understanding its true worth requires a careful look at history, condition, and rarity factors rather than hype alone. The 1997 P Washington Quarter was struck at the United States Mint in Philadelphia. The P mint mark signifies its origin, and millions of these coins were produced for everyday circulation. At first glance, this might make the coin seem ordinary, but collectors know that even common coins can become valuable under specific conditions, especially when rare errors or exceptional preservation are involved. In terms of design, the coin features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design that has been a symbol of American coinage since 1932. The reverse displays the traditional eagle design used before the state quarters program began in 1999. While the design itself is not rare, collectors often search for subtle differences, minting flaws, or pristine examples that elevate a coin desirability. Now, when people talk about this coin being worth millions, it is important to separate reality from exaggeration. A standard 1997 p quarter in circulated, dirty, or worn condition is typically worth only its face value, 25 cents. Dirt, scratches, and heavy wear actually reduce its value rather than increase it. So a coin in poor condition will not suddenly become valuable just because it is old or looks unusual. However, the story changes dramatically when we talk about mint condition coins. If a 1997 p quarter has never been circulated and is graded at the highest levels, such as MS67 or above by professional grading services, it can command significantly higher prices. In rare cases, such high-grade coins have sold for hundreds of dollars, and exceptionally perfect specimens may reach even higher figures in competitive auctions. Another factor that can transform an ordinary 1997 p quarter into something extraordinary is the presence of mint errors. Coins with striking errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet defects, are highly sought after. These errors occur during the minting process and are not common, making them attractive to collectors who are willing to pay a premium for uniqueness. Collectors also pay close attention to luster, strike quality, and eye appeal. A coin that shines with original mint luster, has sharp details, and is free from marks can stand out dramatically. Even among coins of the same year and mint, the difference in value between a worn piece and a near-perfect one can be enormous. The idea that a dirty coin could be worth more is a common misconception. In fact, cleaning or leaving dirt on a coin does not increase its value. Professional collectors prefer coins in original, unaltered condition. Improper cleaning can permanently damage the surface and reduce the coin's desirability in the market. There is also a psychological element in coin collecting. Stories of rare coins selling for huge amounts often spread quickly and create excitement. While such cases do exist, they usually involve extremely rare varieties, historical significance, or unique minting errors, not standard circulation coins like the 1997 p quarter. That said, it is always worth examining your coin carefully. Look for unusual features, errors, or signs of exceptional preservation. If you believe your coin might be special, having it evaluated by a professional grading service can provide clarity and potentially reveal hidden value. The true power of the 1997 p Washington quarter lies not in unrealistic promises of overnight billions, but in the fascinating world of numismatics it represents. Every coin tells a story of history, craftsmanship, and circulation, and sometimes that story can indeed translate into significant financial value. In the end, owning a 1997 p quarter is not about instant wealth but about opportunity. With knowledge, patience, and a keen eye, even an ordinary coin can become part of a valuable collection. While it may not make you a billionaire overnight, the right discovery at the right time could certainly turn a simple coin into something far more meaningful and rewarding. Thank you for taking the time to explore the fascinating story of the Washington quarter. Every coin you come across could hold a hidden story or even a surprising value, so always stay curious and never underestimate what you might have in your hands. If you found this information helpful, keep learning, keep collecting, and who knows, your next discovery might be truly extraordinary.